Happy New Year to you. Welcome. I'm Dr. Jeannie Bertoli, relationship and divorce trainer.
And I'm Ty Saponchik, family law attorney.
We'd like to start your new year out by giving you some new communication skills for the new year. And I'm going to start out by telling you one of the biggest mistakes I see in my practice is people not being intentional in their conversations, that they are reactive. We're emotional beings. And when we're mad about something or sad about something, we tend to speak from that place. But it's not very productive. So I'm going to ask you, first tip is to take that one step back, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what do I want to get out of this conversation? Ask that and answer it prior to entering the conversation, and you will have a different conversation.
Another way to have a different conversation, second tip, is to get off your own perspective. Try to put yourself in their position, see what they're feeling. Most people, when they're talking, they're only feeling their own emotions, not getting any account or regard for the emotions of the other party, and it can make a big difference to put yourself in their place.
Right. So what Ty's talking about is seeing the other person's perspective, and in the third tip, it's about the collaboration. So my tip is to go into the conversation with one thought in mind. How can I make this work for both of us? You have your desires and needs, your partner's desires and needs, but the only solutions that should be acceptable to you as you enter that conversation is where those cross over, the subset of solutions where both of your needs are met. So go into the conversation, go in with the perspective of how can we make this work for both of us? How can I make this work for both of us?
Great tip. Next one is try to follow the 80-20 rule. Listen 80% of the time, talk 20% of the time. In the conversation, the other person should be talking. If they're not communicating. If you're talking, they're not communicating, they're not being heard. So try to see if you can practice that.
While we're on listening, another tip is to go in with an attitude of curiosity. So many times, again, when we're triggered, we go in with judgment. How come you didn't do this? Why didn't you do that? Why did you do that? But I'm asking a question that I'm not actually looking for an answer. I'm just really judging you for doing it. It's almost like, how dare you do that? Or I don't like that you did that, is the message I'm giving. And instead, the tip is to go in with an attitude of curiosity. Why did you do that? And maybe you ask yourself, am I actually curious about the answer to that, right? Do I really want to know? Why didn't the trash get taken out last night? Or do I really want to say, I just don't like that you didn't take the trash out? You can say either one of those and that's fine, but ask the question with an attitude of curiosity if you actually want to know.
Next tip. If you hear someone repeat themselves, if they say something twice, it's because they didn't feel heard. If they say it again, they repeat themselves like I'm doing just now, it's because they didn't feel heard. And ask yourself, well, why didn't they feel heard, or did I not acknowledge what it was that they said?
So an example of someone repeating and repeating happened to me just last night in session, where the wife was saying to her husband, she was stating a complaint. She was stating something that she thought that he wasn't doing. And she stated it once, and then 5 minutes later, she stated it again. And then by the third time, I asked the husband, because they've been working with me for a while, so what do you think it means that she's repeated this 3 times? And he said, she didn't feel like I heard her. So he knew exactly what to do, and that is this, to summarize it back to her, to just say to her, so what I heard you saying is that you're upset that you didn't think that I did this. Doesn't matter whether he agreed with her or not. It just matters that she feels heard. Because we all want to feel heard, we all want to feel understood, we all want to feel like we matter to our partners. So that starts with that listening, that very basic, what I heard you saying is. Ty was giving this example, if you don't mind going into it, about men and how he is in his relationship.
This happens to me, and this is a tip for guys, and I guess anyone who's not as communicative as others want you to be. My wife will say something to me that's not a question, doesn't require a response, and I heard her, and I'll acknowledge in my head that she said that, and then she'll say, did you hear what I said? I go, well, yeah, I heard. Why didn't you say anything? It would be better if I did, and it's a skill I'm working on, and so when you're having an important conversation and someone says something, acknowledge it. Oh, or interesting, or, just instead of your head, I have these, I talk in my head all the time, and the weird thing is my wife can't hear it.
What I love about Ty's example is when he said it didn't necessitate a response.
Apparently it did. That's the thing.
If there was not a response necessary, I didn't say anything. But there's just that simple acknowledgement of, oh, that seems like a good idea, or oh, something. Somehow acknowledge
So the
that you
tip
heard.
is, when it doesn't require a response, it probably does.
Respond anyway. Okay, I'm going to give you another tip here, actually my last tip, which is to state what you do want. We are often, in our conversations, we're quick to be offended. We're quick to feel criticism in tones of voices, in the words that are spoken. So this is a kind of a shift from complaining to stating what you do want. And it's a shift, basically a new way of communicating that I think works amazing. So instead of saying, why didn't you take out the trash? I wish you would take out, you say instead, honey, I wish you would stay on top of the trash since that's your role and you've agreed to take it on, such that I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have to remind you. I don't have to think about it at all. Would that be okay with you? So I'm stating what I do want instead of talking about what's happening that I don't like. It can be a major shift. May seem like a very simple thing, but the fact is our brains, the way we are in our culture, we are so quick to take offense. So we would just want to take that out of our relationships. What we're trying to do is give you tips to just make those relationships be kinder, smoother, and more loving.
And to get your summary of these tips and how you can apply them in your life, just click the link below.
And I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is called Ending Divorce Trauma. You'll see the link to click below. We hope you have a great January, and we're going to see you again in February to talk.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, to talk about some tips on difficult conversations. See you then.
Bye-bye.